What was the worst thing that you did/said while being angry? Threw a $3,000 engagement ring that we never found. When I was 3 years old, I got into a fight with my grandma. Nobody remembers what it was about anymore, but apparently it ended with me telling her to call me when she dies, so I could come visit Granddad. She says she never laughed so hard in her life before. Still, I can't help it but feel kind of bad each time she mentions it. In with Grandma, that's hilarious. Bonus if you still feel guilty, she knows she's won. I can tell by Grandma's reaction that Op was definitely not her first grandkid. Op is lucky too. My grandma's feelings were so brittle and prickly that she would hold grudges against toddlers for even imagined slights. It was so hard on my sister and me when our kids were small. Back in like 2003, teenage me created a fake AIM name because I suspected my girlfriend was cheating on me. Not only did she flirt with this fake random stranger I created, she confessed to having sex with many different guys. Just bragging about it. Instead of handling this well, I logged into her AIM, I knew her password, and hit on every man she knew and convinced them she liked to bang dogs. Word got around and she got kicked out of her church. Definitely worst angry thing I've done. Whoa. Woof. So this one, in my opinion, was a total accident, but no one believes me. When my brother was like 3 or 4, he kept rolling this stupid brick around, hitting me with it on the foot and ankles. He was pretending to be a dog or something. Anyway, I got mad after him doing it a couple times and grabbed the brick. Since I was mad, I went to throw it down. I picked it up, turned 90 degrees to the right and wailed this brick to the ground as hard as my 7-year-old arms would let me. I didn't know he crawled around, because he was still pretending to be a dog, and I cracked him in the head with it. I knew I was in big trouble because my parents didn't beat me for it. It took like 10 stitches on the back of his head to fix it. For a second I thought you killed him. Me too. But within like a second or two he went running inside covering his head. I still remember looking at my mom meeting him at the back door and him moving his hands to just a gush of blood. Scalp wounds bleed like a bitch. My older brother smashed my head into our brick fireplace when I was like 5. I never saw so much blood. I thought I was dying. It took 4 staples in the back of my head. Why they chose staples, I'll never know. It was probably closer than Office Max. I drew my friend burning in lava with the devil hanging out next to him. I was 9. I got expelled from after-school care. This one's my favorite Lamau edit. This comment got me to 6,969 karma. Thanks y'all. I threw a rock at the ground and it bounced into my friend's hand, breaking his pinky finger. Total accident, and I felt like an idiot. I told my mom to go duck herself at an Old Navy while a young boy with his mom was holding the door for us. Now I'm laughing imagining someone saying to their mom, go duck yourself at an Old Navy. So not as bad as some, but when I was a kid I wanted a hard-boiled egg one afternoon and my mom said no. I asked why and she just said no. I got upset and went to my room. When she went to take a shower or whatever, I had the brilliant idea of making my desired egg treat with speed and stealth. I took a coffee mug, filled it with water, dropped the egg in and stuck it in the microwave. I forget how long I set it for, but it was long enough for my mom to come back out to the sound of something cooking in the microwave. She asked me to come to the kitchen, which I shamefully did in defeat. Just as she begins to ask me what I'm cooking, the microwave starts to beep. On the third beep there was this very loud but muffled thump from the microwave. The egg had exploded, the cup had exploded, the microwave was ruined. This wouldn't have been so bad had my family had enough money to replace a microwave and I hadn't wasted eggs. Why wouldn't your mom let you have an egg? Maybe she was planning on using it for the next meal. My dad mentioned how we only got a certain amount of eggs for dinner. He dished up all of the plates and I saw 3 chunks of egg stuck to the pan, an amount equivalent to half of a scrambled egg. I grabbed the chunks and popped them in my mouth. Dad set the table and looked back at the pan and exclaimed, "What happened?" I told him I saw the wasted eggs and ate them. He responded that I ate his dinner. I offered him my eggs but he wouldn't take them and suffered it out with no food. I understand what he was doing, and I don't fault him, but as a fat kid it messed me up for years knowing I ate my dad's dinner and mine and he wouldn't let me set it right. I understand the concept of suffering for your family, but I ate more than I needed not knowing he had to starve. I would do the same for my kids, but it was a sobering reality. This makes me realize how not poor I was growing up. Thanks for some reference. My wife comes from second-generation immigrant crop harvesters. I tell her my bean soup and egg stories and she laughs about having to harvest X number of crops to keep the house, and about using the rejected crops to make some sort of soup or meal to have enough energy to harvest the next field. I got a Sega Genesis in the 90s for Christmas. She got electricity sometimes. There is always somebody less well off than you. I had a roof, food almost every single day, and electricity. The good years we got presents for Christmas. It wasn't so bad. I trashed my house after the doctors told me my mother was dying. I scared the shit out of my brother and my nephew. I'm not really prone to fits of rage or an angry person. Grief can make us do crazy things. I trashed my house during a massive panic after my son died. Then you pull your shit together, clean up your mess, and keep going. It sucks. Oh geez, I'm so sorry for both of you. Frown. My mom has a tendency to reorganize all the house furniture anytime there's a death in the family. Growing up, if I got home and saw her dragging the couch to one end of the house and rolling up the carpet to move it to the other room, I immediately knew something was up. I hope you're doing better. Sorry for your loss. Frown. In middle school, one of my classmates was permanently in a wheelchair. He was also a bit of a bully. He was making fun of me and a friend, and in the middle of it I said, "Come on, friend, let's go find some stairs." I still cringe pretty hard about that. So, I've got a pretty funny-ish story about disabled bullies. I went to a school designed for people on the spectrum. High or low functioning never mattered. I had a friend who had brain damage and was a 6-year-old trapped in a growing teenager's body. He was being bullied by someone 3 years younger than him who was unable to move without some special roller. I was high functioning, so I couldn't actually do anything apart from telling the kid to shut the hell up and leave him alone. One day the kid was bullying him for the way he speaks, and for some unknown reason my friend just started stretching and showing off his ability to move all his limbs freely. I've never been so confused, happy and mildly disturbed like this before. Damn, he just started flexing on him. I chucked a My Little Pony at my sister's head and hit her smack in the middle with a unicorn horn. This was because she wouldn't let me play as Rarity. My older brother threw a softball at my head when we were 1113. It left stitch marks in my forehead. He wasn't mad at me or anything, he was just a complete dick at that age. My mother's ex-husband and I had a really volatile relationship. He was mentally and emotionally abusive and my mom was an alcoholic. There was one day where things got extremely bad. Both my mom and her ex-husband were drinking. All I did was walk in the door and that's when it all started. I was told I had no friends. I was told my family didn't care about me and that if I disappear it would be a good break because I was disappointing. I was told that they wished I was dead. I kept trying to tell them to leave me alone. I tried hiding in my room too, but they followed me. I at one point finally became so enraged at them I flipped my bed over, not just the mattress, I'm talking bed frame and all, because I kept a knife under my bed and then chased them out with a knife and told them I would kill them and not to go to sleep. Yeah. That was fun to explain to the cops. I hope you explained to the police that they were abusing you. My dad was a loving father and I loved him with all my heart. He was like my best friend and there was no thing I couldn't tell him. But he was an alcoholic. Sometimes things got really bad and he was a mess and I tried to help him to get better. There was also times when he didn't drink, but that time he was drinking a lot and had couple seizures. I was so worried about him and stayed at his place almost every night for a year. When I wasn't there I always slept with my phone so he could call me if something was wrong. I was only 19 years old at the time and one day I was so tired to take care of him that I said sometimes I wish he was dead so I can start living my own life. After I said it I felt so bad and I didn't mean it. I loved him so much. Only 2 days later he was found dead at his house. He had a seizure because he had taken alcohol and some pills. That was the worst thing I have ever said and I wish I never said it. Sorry my bad English edit, thank you so much for your answers. I didn't expect so many to write me back. Your messages has been so nice and made me feel so happy. Thank you so much all of you. Edit 2, I also want to say thank you for sharing your own stories. It's so heartbreaking to hear what you have been through. I hope you guys stay strong. You couldn't save him. You should forgive yourself. I know that even if he hurt you he'd forgive you. He's not hurting anymore, and you can start to take care of yourself now.